Okay, I'm going to answer the burning question of how to make hummus. Everyone knows what hummus is, I think, but real quick, this is the Middle Eastern traditional historical dip, if you will, that is made from pureed garbanzo beans, or chickpeas, as they're also called, and tahini paste, which is sesame paste, okay? And quickly, before I get started, there's something I have to get off my chest about this whole business of the different flavored hummuses that we see out there in the marketplace, particularly in supermarkets. So I'm going to use this moment to give you an example of how one needs to differentiate between some of these classic, traditional, entrenched ways of making certain foods. I was asking the producer here today about this, and I asked him, I said, well, if I gave you a Caesar salad and I used iceberg lettuce, would it be a Caesar salad? And he said, well, no, I wouldn't be getting a Caesar salad. Well, hummus is a little bit like that. Now, you can go into the store today and you can get black bean hummus and roasted red pepper hummus and spinach hummus and mushroom hummus and every other kind of hummus in the world, and in some cases, not actual hummus. So the primary ingredients for hummus are always garbanzo beans, tahini paste, with a little bit of garlic and lemon, and sometimes a little bit of olive oil and some salt. Which reminds me, where's the salt? Okay. So hummus is a little bit like that. And so I'm going to show you today the way in which the Middle Eastern people, many of them, have all showed me how to make this. And I've been serving it like this and making it over the years in this way, and I think the traditional way is very important to understand. I want to point out, though, that just because black bean hummus or spinach hummus is being sold and called hummus, I'm not saying that these things aren't good, but they're spinach dips being marketed to you as hummus because hummus is a buzzy word and they can usually charge a little more. So I'd be a little more careful with that. And when you see how easy it is to make this hummus, you may just want to make it yourself, unless you don't have time, of course. So we're going to use a food processor, and I have two 15-ounce cans of garbanzo beans, or chickpeas, whatever you want to call them, sitting right here. I'm going to put them in the food processor, and I have reserved the juice from the cans, and we're going to use that to adjust the texture of this item, okay? And I have tahini, which is the sesame paste, and the primary proportions of garbanzo to tahini should be 2 parts garbanzo and 1 part tahini. For some reason, all the cooks that I seem to be running into in life that make this put not enough tahini in it. You need to taste the tahini. So I'm going to put what I think is 1/3 of the 28 to 29 ounces here. Okay? Now, there's oil that comes in the tahini cans or plastic little containers like this, and the oil should be included as part of it. Okay. I think I got enough there. And I have the sesame paste in here and the garbanzo beans. So I'm going to put probably about 1.5 tablespoons of garlic, but of course, look on the recipe. I'm going to make this and taste it, and then make any adjustments that I need as I'm going along, which is the way that I always try to encourage you to make your food, which is make it, taste it, make it, taste it. Okay, so we're going to give this a little bit of the juice to get it started to make sure we got some turbulence in there, but I don't want to add all the juice right away, okay? All right, now let's give it a zap. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil in here. Extra virgin, of course. Now, not all the Middle Easterners put olive oil directly in their hummus, but they all put salt, garlic, and lemon. I'm back running again. It's pureeing. Now I'm going to put a little bit of salt in here too. It's thick. I don't know if I want it quite that thick. I'm going to add a little more juice to it, and this is what I want you to do. Now remember, if you make this in advance, It's wetter when it's first made than if you refrigerate it. It tightens up a little bit and has more body, you know. Now I have pitas, whole pitas, toasting under the broiler right now that we're going to finish this off with when I'm done. And I have something else for it too, an additional garnish, but let's get this made first. Hold on. All right, now I'm going to show you how thick it is real quick. It's thick. You see there? That's thick. Not runny at all. That's more thick, if that's the right way of saying it. It's more thick than it needs to be. So one of the things I'm going to start out with, because all hummus has lemon juice in it as a primary seasoning agent here, okay? Or flavoring agent, or just have to have lemon in it. Let's put it like that. I'm going to squeeze these lemons over here so I don't have any seeds in there when I'm done. So they should have a little lemony, garlic, and in my case, a little olive oily kind of taste to it when it's all said and done. Let me get these out of here, the seeds. Now, I suppose if this was a TV show, I probably would have had a little filter just for the seeds and then recommend where you can buy it, but I don't think you should be doing all that. And you were getting just a little too automated out here in our cooking. Okay, a little lemon. And I'm going to squeeze a couple more. Well, let's get this thing zapping again. Squeeze a couple more because I think we might need a couple more. I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil and a little bit more juice in here. This stuff is so easy to make, and it's fairly inexpensive. I mean, these little cans of garbanzo beans cost like a couple bucks a piece. That's it. Now, the tahini, that's probably the most expensive thing in making this. All right, we're getting a little smooth now. And let's taste it, too, real quick. It's tasting good, and I was right. It needs more lemon. I'm going to put a little more garlic in there also real quick. Tasting, seasoning, tasting, seasoning. This is how you make it. Let that run. I'm going to put the rest of this lemon juice in here. Put a little bit more olive oil. This is looking good. Looking good. Let's taste it again. I'm going to put a pinch more salt in here. I'm going to put still a little bit tight. Let me show you how tight it is. That's, I think, too tight. So as it turns out, in this case, the amount of juice, I'm putting a balance of it in here, that was in the cans that I bought at the supermarket to do this was the right amount of juice, it looks like.